All right, all right, all
All
right.
right, all right, all right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Monday,
Strategy Vault
Marketing
podcast.
Monday. Welcome back to the Strategy Vault. We're here today to discuss Marketing Monday. And I think we're at chapter 7 of our book. Felix, how's it going, brother?
Terry O'Reilly, marketing lessons from Under the Influence, chapter 7, guys. I'm very good. How was your weekend?
Yes, sir. We got an early bird. We got an early bird in the house. Nico
Great.
Page. How are you, Nico
Uh,
Page? Oh, Page, I'm back in MTL, bro. Shoot me a buzz.
yeah, let's link up.
Oh, hey, let's go to
Um,
Yabainta, yeah, real one.
but Remembrance Day today also supposed to be
Yes, sir.
férié that they say. It's not very. Indeed, it's a pretty busy day, but yeah,
Yes, sir. I got
Remembrance
my
Day.
puppy. I got my. I even chose green today
Oh wow, okay, you went full
to
like
honor the soldiers. Full
rich,
pin, full
rich.
pin. Where's your puppy? It's okay. You got it on the screen. Good enough. Good enough.
No questions asked,
Good
bro.
enough, my friend.
Got too busy this morning, bro. I completely forgot. I had to go get that. I'll fix that for next year. Sorry, but at least I think it's important
You're good. You're good, bro. You have it on.
to talk about it. Yeah,
I,
yeah,
di- I
yeah.
didn't mean. I didn't mean. I didn't mean to call you
Put me
out on
on
it.
the spot.
You're good though. You have it on this. No, you have it on the screen. You're good.
All right, all right,
It's all good,
all
my
right, my
friend. How
man.
you doing,
So,
Phil? How you doing this morning?
well, it's a good. It's always a pleasure to get to talk about marketing on Mondays because I feel it sets the tone for the rest of the week on the stuff that most people, I would say, skip. They skip the marketing. I skipped for the most part of the
Who skips
startup, and
marketing?
I skipped marketing. We skipped a lot of marketing. We did cold calls at the beginning, but I skipped a lot on most of these things that we're learning on
No,
Monday. I
we never
was
skip. No, 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 no,
Yeah,
no,
for
no.
the first
We never
years,
skip marketing.
no, 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 me, I mean in some of my past ventures, in my first years in business when I started, I skipped on marketing. That's something that I that's my biggest regret. If I had put the amount of energy that I'm putting right now on marketing at the beginning in my 22, 23, 24 years old, upbringing, starting stuff, trying to start with just ideas. Doesn't have to be like a big business, just ideas. If I had put these principles in place back then, we would be in a different, we would be sitting like in a
For
different
sure.
chair right now.
For,
Trust me.
for sure, but we can't go back in time as much as we. But
Still
that's
have
the
a nice
beauty
chair
of
there, but
life,
like
right?
I'm not complaining about my chair, but like I'm just saying like it would be a different chair. We would be probably sitting in a different like position. Marketing is
And you
everything,
know what? You know what?
especially.
What I wanted to say is like my ventures that I've done. I didn't need marketing. If you think about it, my venture is Airbnb, so like, I don't really need to. You don't really need marketing when you're like renting out your apartments. But I try to think like, how can I use it to make it better? How can I use marketing to make it better?
Well,
Can I
the,
advertise it
the
on more
the big
platforms?
guys, the
Can I
big
create a
guys
more
would say
compelling
otherwise.
story?
The one who have thousands of doors would say like, "Hey, I need the firepower of marketing to be able to rent out my place, to be able to, uh, you know, like in the real estate business, marketing is big. Some would say that it
But
depends.
look, when you're renting your apartments, when you're renting your property, Airbnb takes care of the marketing for you. So
Okay,
some would look at it like,
true.
hey, that's one thing I don't have to take care of. That's one thing that I don't have to focus on is marketing because all I do is I take pictures, put it on the platform, and they get rented. But I'm sure there's always something you could do better. There's always
But how
something
could
you
you
could do
sell
better
yourself?
to.
So how could you sell yourself? At some point, yeah, I've heard you, at, and it's starting. With the podcast. There's a lot of people talking about what you're doing, and you've been asked questions. People are, in the you told me some people are asking for advices, I would say, or maybe even to invest with you. So at some point, you might be also selling yourself doing this business, doing this at some point it gets bigger, and you are at the forefront of that. You told me that some people are trying. So if they reach out and you feel that
That
at
is
some
correct.
you might have to sell yourself, and that's also what we're doing on this podcast. I feel, I should say, and selling yourself, like, good ideas versus sold ideas. What's the ratio? You could have good ideas. I've seen good
10 to 1.
ideas being pitched. When I was doing financing, when I was how many good ideas, well engineered, patented ideas I've seen that were pitched. I had to, like, they paid me to pitch that to a banker and go to war for them. Companies pay a lot of money for guys like us, Jordan, to be able to pitch for them. And the value that you could get from listening to this podcast today is, actually saving money on guys like us. Like, how could you do that by yourself? Start with the end, I should say. And that's the name of that's the name of the chapter. Start with the end. Why start with the end? Start by the closing part, la persuasion, being persuasive, the presentation. Like, go straight to the presentation. And that's what this chapter is all about. How to present your ideas in a compelling manner, so that you're able to close other people on that, and they're actually sold on it and they buy it. How is that possible for some people? And we've all heard of great ideas that have not come to term, that are, ça s'est pas donné, ça s'est pas passé, ça s'est pas concrétisé. Right now, they're talking right now in the news about Lyon Electric that's crashing, failing. I was reading about that this morning. People are asking questions because there's a lot of government money invested, and the government is about to invest a lot more money. But why are these great ideas not coming to fruition?
So the majority of the time, you bring up a good point. I like where you're going with this, because a big part of selling your product, first of all, is the presentation. A lot of ideas go to shit because of poor presentation. A lot of good ideas never come to life because of poor presentation. You need good presentation. You need to have that Steve Jobs angle of promoting your product, the way 1,000 songs fit in your pocket when he puts his iPod in that small pocket. You need creative selling like that. You need it. You can have the best idea in the world. If you're not able to, that's why, like, people who tell the story and the salespeople are so damn important. And Steve Jobs had both. He had the creative aspect and he had the salesmanship, the sales part.
Salesmanship, I like that.
He was creative in selling it. And it's really interesting that you bring that up, because it's everything. The presenting it is almost everything. It's more important than the actual idea, because without good presentation, the idea goes to shit. That's why it's important to present it properly. And that's why those advertisers in the book that we're reading, they have so many opportunities, because that's their job. Their job is to sell. Their job is to sell, to help their clients get more sales or increase awareness and all those things.
We saw that at the beginning of the book.
A bunch of...
They were talking about looking for the area of, the actual area of opportunity for your business. That's the first thing you should do first.
Right.
Like, that's what we saw in the past chapters. And that's
right. It's not just
these all come to fruition in this chapter. They're all talking about how the area of opportunity brought the idea to life inside the presentation. Now we're learning how to close it. We're learning how to be persuasive, because that's as much as important as the idea itself.
Because we always talk about how marketing is all about storytelling, right? So that's why sales is a big part of it. Because if you can't communicate yourself properly, the idea is going to go to shit. You have a good idea, it's, it could get lost in the sauce, as we say. So like,
And
I really like how they give a lot of different ideas. Like, I don't know if you wanted to get into that now.
I just wanted to say about what you just said. The present, you were talking about the presentation, and the person would like the presenter, like the presenter needs to have umbilical connection. I don't know if I should say the umbilical connection to the work.
Sure.
If it's not there, and we've experienced that, if it's not there, the degree of passion will not be there. It will be missing. And the required amount of energy it takes to persuade either a business or an organization, like it takes a lot of
fake,
juice,
right?
It's going
to seem fake in a sense, like pretty much like you're coming up with the product, but you lack sales skills, you lack the ability to explain yourself and express yourself. So you're going to have to hire somebody else who's going to be going into board meetings to explain the product to people, and they're just not going to feel it.
It's not them who created the product.
Fake.
That's why it has to be you. Like, if you're listening right now, it's your business, and you're wondering,
why they say,
like,
all entrepreneurs
you're trying to figure
have to.
Yes, these guys, they're trying to figure this out. Who should I hire? I see these sponsored out all the time because they're trying to push me these products all the time. I'm a business owner, trying to push me, and I know how much it costs. I've did quotes. I know how much they cost. They cost a lot of money, and they will be asking you the questions that you should actually ask yourselves. At the end of the process, you're going to be like, hey, these are questions those are basic questions I should basically just ask myself at the beginning. And now with that information, I know what to do. You know better. And now you have to tell someone else what you know and what you discovered about yourself. Hey, yeah, okay, my business, that's how we're going to do this. That's how we're going to sell it. Like, as soon as you know, you get confidence. And that's what we're trying to, with these examples that Jord, because these examples are golden, that's what we're trying to show you, that it's possible to get
it's interesting though.
To these answers by yourself. That's what I was trying to say.
It's really interesting how it's an art, right? There's more than just being able to express yourself when it comes to selling your idea. It's more than just that. You have to be different than the other people. You have to be unique. You have to be charming. You have to be funny. You have to have a good sense of humor. So it's not just knowing your product well. It's not just knowing yourself well. It's also like I'm going to go in the board meeting and try to sell my idea. What are we going to do that's going to make them think like, oh, these guys are different. So it's an art. It really is.
Yes, because nervousness registers in the client's mind as a lack of confidence in the idea, in the product. Like, you need to prepare that in advance. Your presentation is the end. It's the end game. It's the end. It can't be from there. It starts. You can't just wing it. You need to prepare that. It has to be like the end of it. It has to be like the distilled product of your whole menu, and they will feel it. I don't know, because and we've toi puis moi, Jordan, parce que toi puis moi, Jordan, on a tellement d'expérience là-dedans. We've been doing that for years. We have so many examples, like it's of people saying no to our products, to what we're trying to sell them, but we're so prepared. Like, we know what we're talking about. We know exactly what we're selling. We know that it's
and
we
know what they're gonna say. We know what the objections are going to be. We know what potential, because you do this day in, day out. You're prepared. You know your shit inside out. You know the objections that are gonna come. You know how to tackle the objections. That's what's really important. But I find it so interesting, the art behind, like, and they even explain some of the things that they do in the book, like these bold moves, like when they went into the meeting with Nike, they were trying to gain the Nike contract, and they walked in with Converse shoes.
Yes, the yellow.
Everybody
Converse
goes in with Nike shoes. You're trying to win the Nike, and they went in with yellow Converse shoes, and they ended up winning the contract. Why? Because they were so different. Like, Mika, this guy has balls. He's coming in to try to win the contract at Nike wearing
He
Converse.
was actually trying to invert
Yellow
it.
Converse.
He was trying to say the message was, you
Get
Nike
me out of
guys
these.
should
You wanted-
get me.
Get me
You
out.
should get me.
Yes,
Yeah, get
you
me out of
reversed
my
it.
Converse shoes. Like that was the actual point. That was the actual
That's
message.
fucking
Like
funny.
that's crazy. I'm the ad agency that will bring you there. How
It's-
you like
Yes.
trying to convince me to wear
It's
your
risky.
shoes? Yeah, it was risky.
You think
It
about
was
it, it's a
bet.
risky. It's a risky move, but you have to be risky like that if you wanna be successful. You can't just. Be
It was
on the
also
safe side.
against the
let's
grain.
Go in and wear. It's against the grain, and you're different, and you're being unique. And it's not like, oh, let me just go in like everybody else wearing Nike shirts to the meeting. It's like, it's like, no, I walk in with yellow Converse. Like, bro, get me out of this. And then they had a second meeting, and in the second meeting, the guy went in with one Nike and one Converse, and he went up to the guy and he said, "You're almost there."
Almost there.
Funny.
You're
is
getting
that
there,
started
guys.
dying of laughter. You're almost
Bro,
there.
That's crazy. Yeah, sometimes you don't know if like you don't know what's gonna bring that account. You don't really know like how to
That's true.
to gain their attention, but that's what gain attention will gain you at least to the other side of the information you need to close the contract. Like sometimes just I don't know how to say that. Most people would just stay there because they think they know. No, I know this guy won't close because he told me that. The thing is, this how could I say that? You could break rules, and breaking rules is going to gain you the attention needed to gain that account, and that is something that your enclosed brain is not. It does not want to accept. Your brain does not want to accept that breaking some of the rules, not all rules, not just like winging it and just going and saying, "Hey, take my business." But like
I would say more bend the rule.
Bend rules.
Like that example that they gave about what was that fucking? They gave an example on that on when they went in, they were pitching the client and they said, "Can we come in and sit? Can we come in and sit with you guys?"
With Molson.
Yeah, they said, "Can we come in and sit with you guys?" And then what did Labatt say?
Labatt said it wouldn't be fair for the other ones. Subcontractors that are trying to get our business. But did they ask to do the same? That's what they said. They said, "Yeah, okay, but did they ask to do the same thing?" Labatt had to say no. So they said, "Okay, let's sit down." And they sat down, and they actually got
their loss.
They got the business.
So that's their loss. And then
that's their loss. We tried, they didn't. That's on
them. You have
to
fucking make an impression. You like in a world where there's so many people trying to do the same thing, you have to fucking make an impression. You have to be different. You have to be bold. You can't just be you can't. You're gonna lose. You want to leave that room when they're saying like, "Wow, this guy has." You have to almost feel uncomfortable. You have to feel. I feel like if you don't feel uncomfortable, you didn't do a good job. They say that about real estate agents when you're putting an offer at a house. If your offer it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, you didn't offer low enough.
That's interesting. So if your marketing isn't making you uncomfortable,
I don't want to feel in that state. I don't. Yeah, I would say that. 100%. You have to feel uncomfortable. Like the guy who walked in with the Converse, you think he felt comfortable walking in with yellow Converse to a Nike meeting? He probably felt like, "Oh shit, this is bold." I think that feeling makes you know, okay, I'm doing the right thing. And the Godfather, I don't know if you watched The Godfather when he said that when you're scared to jump, that's exactly when you jump. You have to feel in that state. That's because that's the state of growth. That's the state of getting shit done. That's the state of being different. The state of being unique.
But you also need to know your audience. I feel you can't just wing that stuff, And also in the book they talk about that a lot. And I feel like we've not talked about, like, we're talking about all the glamour stuff and the glittery, but at some point in the book they're really talking about, like, rules. Rule number 1: know your audience.
100%.
The guy, he walked in with Converse, but he had something really precise he was trying to tell them, and he knew about like these guys. He knew that the Nike executive, the first thing that everybody's talking about, everybody knows that the Nike executive, everybody at any meeting, any sales meeting, they would look at people's shoes. As soon as they walk in the room, they would look at people's shoes. That's the first thing. You need to know that, because if you walk in the room with your yellow Converse,
That's why he wore the Converse.
That's the first thing
knew
that he look. But yeah, he knows his audience. So knowing your audience, studying your audience to their slightest moves and slightest little, their the way they live their life, the way they, like, what they do for everything, what they do for a living, what they eat, what's their I don't know the English word, leur manie, something that they do all the time, like it's something that they repeatedly doing,
their way of
their habits,
like
their
for
way
example,
of life.
if you know they like Eye of the Tiger song, for example, bro, fucking play it in the fucking meeting. Play it.
You need to do
like,
something with that.
People get impressed. People get impressed with those things. Like, oh wow, how did they did their homework. It's impressive. It's an impressive thing. These guys are not just like everybody else. They took the time to learn me, and so they're automatically inclined to give it to you. If you think about it, it's so easy to stand out, but it's also so hard at the same time. It takes a lot of creativity.
It's fragile. I would say it's a very fragile thing to hold in your hand, like it's a candle. The slightest breeze could just extinguish it. Like you need to be able to hold on to it, and you need to as much as you need to be like to manipulate in a very gentle way, you need to have arms, because there's going to be gusts along the way. People are going to be like, no, this is not a good idea, because it's supposed to be uncomfortable, right? You're supposed to be uncomfortable. If you feel uncomfortable and you bring that to a meeting and you need to push for that idea, you're gonna need that that buffer to be able to take the gusts and keep the idea alive, because the slightest change to make it more comfortable will take the essence away. They say rule number 1, know your audience. They say rule number 2, know the decision maker. And I don't know if you remember about the example they were talking about in the book. Know the decision maker.
That guy shot himself in the foot. He thought the guy went into the meeting. He thought he knew who the decision maker was laser focused on selling to that one person. And then it turns out at the end of the meeting, it was somebody who worked for his company. Like, it wasn't. He was
pitching to a stagiaire. He was pitching to his new guy. He didn't know. He thought it was the vice president of the company he was trying to pitch for the ad agency, and whatever. Wrong. And he was wrong. So who you're pitching to is very important, because you're going to be laser focused on them, trying to pitch at them. And you said it before. Rule number three, you need to know how to stand out from competition. You need to, like, in advance, know what's your the differentiator. What's the difference maker in your offer, in your menu? What you're trying to pitch. You need to prepare that in advance. And in banking, I should say, that's the most important part of preparation. That's why they hire us as consultants. They hire us because we're preparing for the banker's questions. Bankers' questions are always to destabilize. They know there are other businesses in the same field. There's other cleaning businesses. You're not the first cleaning businesses with biodegradable products. Like, everybody has that. Eco products, we all have that. You need to prepare for these hard questions. So you're look, you know them. You need to know them by heart. That's rule number 2.
The way I like to look at all of it is, I like to use the analogy of when you're going to pick up women. You're going to you want to get a girl's number, for example. It's never just an exchange of information, like, I found you cute. Can I get you? It's the same thing when you're going into the board meeting to try to sell. You have to be charming, different. Like, imagine you see a girl you like, you want to go strike a conversation. Imagine if you made them laugh before asking for their number. You make them laugh before asking them for a date. How much higher are your chances of getting their number? The same thing in the boardroom. Imagine you go in there and you make them laugh. Like those guys that what was that meeting they went into with those zappers? And they said, okay, we're going to start our meeting now. And they gave them like a remote. And they said, okay,
It was Labatt also. Molson, same
if
thing.
Crazy. If you don't like us, if you don't like what we're presenting, just zap us. And then they started dying of that, like first impressions, everything.
And it gives you confidence, right? When they laugh at your joke.
It does. It opens. Yes, of course.
So that's actually rule number 4. Know the power of confidence
in your brain.
You need to know the power of confidence, being well prepared, getting in there and knocking it out of the park. You need to have that confidence inside of you. It's so it's not hard if you're well prepared, but it's so difficult if you don't know what you're doing. It seems impossible to just build confidence if you don't know what you're doing.
Dude, I could relate heavily to that, what you just said. And when we used to work in selling those Interac machines, a lot of the times I went on the road to sell the machines in person. And I remember whenever the beginning of the conversation or the beginning of my pitch started out with laughter, I made a joke, they laughed, whatever it was, it always went my way. Like 99% of the times it goes my way. If you get them to laugh, you're there to sell them something that they obviously need. They need it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be there. And you were able to make them laugh. Well, you have them like the palm of your hand. 99% of the times. 9%. And we got Terry X in the house. How are you, Terry?
Hey, what's up? It's been a while. I also feel like that, is it really the laugh, or is it what your body language speaks when you're out there just cracking jokes?
That's just one thing.
Because uncertainty puts a cramp in your body.
The energy.
It really does. Sorry, bro. We're talking
it does. Your body language. You feel uncomfortable. You just feel uncomfortable after. You feel like, and people could tell by your body language, like, okay, this guy doesn't seem right. And
leaves an aftertaste.
I give the example
it leaves
of
an aftertaste.
I like humor. I like humor personally. I like setting the energy in the room with laughter. For me, that because when you laugh, you get a hit of dopamine in your brain, and you feel comfortable, you feel good, and everybody in the room feels good. But there's different ways of doing that. Some people could, I guess, use different emotions to do that. What's up, Terry? Terry says, "What's up, gentlemen?"
Hey, man. Nice to see you, bro. We need to go eat all together. It's been a while. Has to be before
yes, sir.
A little before Jordan's. We should go to like last year, bro.
I think Terry's coming. Terry, I invited you to. I invited Terry to the WhatsApp group. He never responded. Nice guy.
Yeah, we're going to the chalet thing. Yeah, but yeah, bro, you have to believe in your work. You have to believe in your work, bro. You have to believe in what you're presenting. Like you said, when you went there for the Interac machines, we knew we had better rates. So we knew it was a no-brainer for them. But we still had to convince them. We knew we had better rates. At that time, we had very low rates. We were working for these companies that were easier to sell because they really had good rates. But there was still the convincing part.
I just want to share.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to share a story that I remember. I remember this story, okay? I went in to sell an Interac machine to this guy. He was with... Can I say the name? I don't know if I can say the name. Whatever. He was with Global. Okay, and we know whenever somebody's with Global, we know we could beat their rates. We know for 100% certainty. But the guy wasn't buying what I was telling him. I was literally sitting there like, sir, I can save you $450 per month for the same exact service. $450. I told him, sir, sign with me and then come with me. We'll go to the Mercedes dealership and you got yourself a lease on a BMW or a Mercedes. Back then, you could lease a Beamer or a Mercedes for $450 a month. And the guy wasn't buying it. I remember clearly. It was a really, really high volume dépanneur. And you know what I told the guy? You know what I told the guy that made him sign? I told him, sir, I am not leaving your place until you sign. All confidently. I told him, sir, I'm not. So I'm like, told him, sir, I'm saving you $450 a month. I'm not going anywhere until you sign the contract. He signed the contract.
He got scared.
I told him he wasn't buying he wasn't, no, he just wasn't believing me or whatever. But then he saw that I was like, sir, what's wrong with you? I was like, sir, I'm like kind of shaking. I'm like, sir, what do you mean you're not taking it? I'm saving you $450 a month. Wake up. I'm not leaving here until you sign. And he signed it. Why? Not because he was scared, because he probably told himself like, okay, this guy, like, this guy's probably actually saving me $450. Yeah, this guy's serious.
I need to try it. Like it's all about, I think it's all about, it's all gut feeling. People are buying also on gut feeling. You need to change that gut feeling that they have. And if you have that in you, so your gut is telling you that it's the best solution for your client, and it's tearing you apart to leave them like that. It's just gonna sell itself. Right. That's all you need.
Who doesn't want to save?
Is for you. You need a compelling story for yourself to be able to sell it afterward and be able to talk about the story all the time. Easily. It's right there.
Like, just in my situation, like, I knew that, because I do it for a living. I used to do it for a living. So I knew when I looked at the numbers that I'm saving him this much money. But he doesn't know. He's a business owner. He's dealing with, he has clients. He's selling his products, whatever it is. Like, it's not his field. So, like, even though he heard it from a person he doesn't know, doesn't necessarily believe it.
So information, data, currencies were not producing any end game for him inside of his brain when you were there. But the energy, I feel like, energy is transferable. It's infectious. Like, your conviction,
it is
was palpable. Like, he could feel it. And you said it was a high number Chinese dépanneur, right? Convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was like, there was probably a little of the language barrier.
He was skeptical.
Also.
He was for sure.
He was skeptical about what you were saying. He was saying, like, maybe this guy's trying to, like, run me, or like he's trying to roll me into that. But
he saw that I wasn't going anywhere.
Your energy, he saw the everything.
Yeah.
It's your energy that really, like. So you need that, guys. Like, it's really the tip here is having something that gets you on that energy train. High energy, standing up. Like, hey, this is real. Like, I have this grass that you're looking for next year, next spring. We have the best grass solution. Why? The why is less important than it is the best solution. We have it. Like, I don't know, bro. Je sais pas comment dire ça. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. Like, it's really how you believe yourself in that project that will make a difference too. It does. Like, I'm a consumer.
You have to believe it.
I'm a sales guy.
You have to absolutely believe it. I don't think you could pull that off if you're acting. I don't think you could pull that off. Like, in my situation, when I was in there, like, grabbing the guy by the shirt, like, sir, wake up, like, it's authentic. I wasn't actually grabbing the guy. It's just a figure of speech. But, like, if you're going in with, like, okay, I have to like keep the energy up, it's gonna be tough to do that. It's gotta come natural. The energy's gotta come natural. You have to actually, like, trigger, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's imagine you're going into, like, a sales meeting, but you're not in the mood. Like, your energy is low, and you're like, okay, no, my energy is low, but I have to keep it high because I know that that's what's gonna win the client. It's tough. You're not actually feeling it. It's like, it's going to come across as you're acting, I think. And there were certain situations where I went into a sales meeting where I didn't feel it, and it didn't go good. The meeting didn't go good. And then I started to tell myself, okay, I need to get 8 hours of sleep. And I started, like, these hacks that used to work for me. Okay, whenever I used to get 8 hours of sleep, more often than not, I would be in a good mood. I would have the energy high, and I would be successful. And so there was these little hacks that I was kind of doing.
As a sales guy that worked mainly on the phone, I feel like it was very hard for me to get that to that point, to that actual point. Like, when I was just a sales guy working for other people's businesses, I feel like it was getting to that sweet spot of really knowing my product and really getting, like, being engaged with my product when I was talking on the phone with my, and like you said, getting out of 8 hours of sleep was helping a lot because it gets you very like faster to your
Et Corsair,
ideas, like bam, bam, bam. But as a business owner, I feel like it's way more easier to get like that energy, that fire. It's burning inside of you. Like, you know your product, you know everything, you built it. One way that I've discovered, and that you and me discovered also, to be able to get your salespeople on track with that firepower that you have, I feel like it's something that is, it's, we all have that goal, right? To be able to transfer our firepower, our sales firepower, to our salespeople. Like they're talking about it in the book. It's something that's very difficult to do. It's, you need to be careful. That passion is hardly transferable. But I feel that one way that you could do that is either having your salespeople to have some kind of field days, or if you could mix your field people with sales tasks, is the most amazing thing.
if you want to get them as excited, if you want to get them as excited as you are, you probably have to give them some equity. You probably have to have some kind of plan to give them some equity. If you want them to feel like it's their own, like banks do that. Banks do that. They give all.
Okay, you mean monetary equity?
Well, look, when you work in the bank, talk about when you work. Look. When you work in the bank, they give all the employees of the bank, whether you're a teller, whether you're a financial advisor, whatever position you're in, they give you shares. They give you stocks. So the idea behind this is that you treat is that it does make. To my opinion, it makes. Wait. Let me finish talking. Let me finish my point. By them giving stocks, or by even smaller companies giving a piece of their company, even though it's a small piece, you're giving ownership, meaning that they're somehow responsible in the success of the company. So people who own a lot of shares of TD, when they're working and serving clients, they have it in the back of their head. They have it in their heart. Even, they're like, I need to do good. I need to do good.
Yes, of course. Okay, but we're talking about financial. But most, like, I understand what you mean.
I'm just giving you one solution. Most of these small business, if you want to fire up your,
I understand, but most of these small guys, they can't right now.
No, of course not. The small guys can't. No.
So that's what I'm saying. So my message was more about like these smaller, low budget, startups trying to, get these sales guys fired up. But I understand that at some point you want to get to that.
Yeah.
To what you just said. But before that, to give them the tools, because I'm not going to get to that point that you've just said, having robots on the phone. It's not going to work. I need good, engaged people. I don't need 10. I need 1, 2, or 3 at the beginning. And
you need people. Those people need to have a stake. They need to have a stake for, if you want them to be like, to have your type of, like, nobody's going to sell your product better than you, right?
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was about to say. If you want to equip them, you could. You don't need to give them money. You could equip them. That's what I was about to say. Just let me finish. You'll understand. If you want, like, you and me, Jordan, toi puis moi, on est allés ensemble. You know, like, you came on the field. You know what Uninet is all about. We showed you, like, you're more than just like a salesperson on the phone. You've been on the field.
Corsaro says incentivize.
Yes, incentives are good, but you could give incentives to the moon.
Bring course on.
You could give incentives to the moon and have people not know what products are really like, what the products are really like giving to the client. That's what I'm trying to say. I understand about the incentive parts, guys, but like, what I'm trying to explain is really the vision, the image. Like, let me give you like some really real life example. I'm not. Most people are telling me, Felix, why are you still going on the field? Why are you still out there trying to like brush windows on commercial? Like, aren't your guys trained to do it by themselves? Of course, my guys are trained, but as soon as we get like some different contracts, some different, I want to be on the field because I want to know how good our technology is working on these new, more dirtier and dirtier windows. I want the most dirty windows in Montreal. I want to get like at that point where I'm not able to clean them. And right now, I
But
haven't got
whenever
to
they
that
get to that
point.
point, you call you call Corsaro whenever they get to that point and you can't clean them anymore. You call Charlan Windows, and they'll change your windows.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So we need to link up. So when they put the windows, when they install the windows, we come and clean them.
Yeah, you guys should 100. You guys should 100% link up for sure. After he
100%.
sells the window to his clients, he's probably. I don't know. Of course, do
Free clean, bro.
people ever ask you after you install the windows? Do they ask you for somebody who's able
We'll
to
give
clean
them free cleans, bro. Free clean for a year. That 2 cleans, and we'll give them to you for like a good price. And you give them that. You give that to your clients on top of your offer, bro. We could do that.
I don't know what George. I don't know what George Val thinks. Windows with graffitis. Nah, bro. I don't think. I think windows with graffiti. You call Charlan Windows.
That's window restoration. We could do that, but that's a different price. But what I meant is, like, if you have something different, like in the book, they're talking about having a differentiator, having like some kind of differentiator with your competition. You need to create an atmosphere for your sales guy where they really know what's that differentiator. Like, they just can't walk in and sell because they have a good commission. Like, that's good. I'm all for it. I'm not against that. I was just saying that before that, you need something to fire them up. And your differentiator, like, we're all there saying, oh yeah, they can't really have that fire because they're not in the business. It can't stay like that. You can't just stay like that. If you stay like that, you're gonna be just like the other guys, and all your people are gonna sound like robots. You need your differentiator in their mouth all day, because that's what's gonna sell. And you need to either bring them to the field or have field guys on the phone. So that's what we did. So I've had Jordan in step ladders cleaning windows with me. and he knew exactly what it was all about, how good we were leaving the spots. Like, he had the feeling of people telling, hey guys, do you remember Jordan, that guy in Saint Subai said he was like that?
But for sure, bro, for sure, that's a good point. That's a very good point, Phil. But for sure, if you bring your for sure, because now the person selling it knows that it's a good product, he's going to be confident about it. You're 1,000,000% right.
And he's going to be able to tell the clients,
when the guy, yes,
you're going to feel so much better afterwards. Yeah. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Tu comprends?
Incentives, of course, you need to give incentives, like, for sure. But like, the point that I was trying, but the point that I was trying to make by saying with the equity part, like, nobody's gonna sell it like you. It's your baby. Nobody's gonna believe in it like you do.
You're better at selling, George. Let's be real. You're better at selling my products inside of my business than I do. Why? Because I'm like, and we've discussed.
I don't know, but I wouldn't say that.
I'm too, like, I talk too much. I know too much. When I'm on the phone with the client, I could, like, of course I sell it.
You just get emotional. You just get.
I get emotional
because it's yours. You get emotional. Like when clients will have an issue or something, you get emotional. I'm like, bro, just sit down. I'll talk to them. I'll fix it. No, for some things,
normal.
For some things, it's
normal.
It is normal.
I'm not trying to hide myself. Like, it's. Let's be real. Like, and that's how you progress, and that's how you. But I feel like it's very good to have like a proxy, like to have like some buffer. You're the buffer. You're there, like you just said. You're there to, like, hey, slow down, bro. Slow down. You don't have to be like that. And let me handle it. And it helps a lot. It helps a lot. It costs something to have yourself like a guy next to you that sells the things for you. But I feel like it's the best way to not put a foot in your mouth and really implement real sales systems. Because if it's you're not à l'abri. I don't know how to say that. You're not like you will be making mistakes because you're tired, because you're working 180 hours a week, because you're like, you will be making mistakes. Where I hear you guys on the phone all day, you and Kev. You guys are having systems in place that even if I come through and be like, hey, blah, 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 you guys have your systems. They're routines. They're there. They're not to be touched, not even by me. And that's perfect like that. I feel that's the kind of ecosystem you need. Ecosystems in your business, not manually touched systems. You need ecosystems that live by themselves through the human beings inside of your business, working through them. Like we're getting a little bit off topic here, but I feel like we've worked so much on telemarketing in the past 3 years. We know more about telemarketing than most startups, because that's how we started. That's most startups don't start with telemarketing. We started with that. But George, that for a fact that if it was just me, I would be changing the pitch pretty much every day, which is not a good idea. You should never change your pitch all the time.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. Sometimes you get. But listen, sometimes you get tempted. Okay, sometimes you get tempted. You have like 2, 3, calls where they said no, and then you get tempted. Like, oh, I should switch it to like no, like not necessarily. Wait a bit. like you need. Sometimes you need to shift it. You realize we're always changing the pitch over time. The pitch is always being changed. It's all not being changed completely, but it's always being like the direction shifts a bit,
Yeah.
But we have to remember not to just, after a couple of calls, like, okay, we got a couple of no's. Incrementally. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. 100%. Wait, I just want to say, because I have a couple people watching over here on IG.
Rich.
Guys, I put the banner up. You guys could go subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, we need you guys on YouTube.
That would help us supportive.
And just so you guys know, for the people joining in afterwards, we're actually talking about this book, which is a very, very good book. Me and George are at chapter 7. Terry O'Reilly, Marketing Lessons from Under the Influence. What's funny?
Terry O'Reilly or Terry Axe?
Terry O'Reilly.
What Paige is writing in the comments is making me laugh a bit.
I can't see the comments, man. It sucks. I would love to see them.
Yeah, no. How can I fucking integrate my Instagram comments?
I don't know. That's why we need you guys on YouTube for the live stream, guys. Because if you don't subscribe, I cannot see the Instagram. I don't want to say Instagram sucks because they're gonna ban us. But Instagram is preventing us from doing a lot of things. So if you guys could just subscribe to our either Facebook page or YouTube channel, it's definitely helping us engage with you guys.
What's that? Oh, pancakes, rich. Pancakes are mental, guys. Pancakes with butter. Wait, what? Pancakes with butter? Or pancakes with butter and syrup? And some strawberries and bananas on top. That's fucking rich.
No fruit. It's either you eat fruit.
Yeah, are you guys a plain pancake or are you guys just a Nutella pancake kind of guy?
But what are these questions? I know. Who asked?
Oh, somebody put some pancakes over here. No fruit. Terry says no fruit. Okay.
Who's asking?
I always thought you were. I always thought Terry was.
Is that for the chalet? Is that for the breakfast at the chalet, or what are we gonna eat? Who's gonna be cooking the pancakes at breakfast? Who's waking up the most early?
No, it's just a random. I'm just answering a random emoji.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. I don't know if you want to add anything else, any closing comments.
Ben, bro, on a fait le tour, man.
Jumpman Jordan, we have bacon. We have a lot. I think so too. 50 minutes. I think if anybody wants to ask any questions, we can answer some questions. But Nico Paige, Jay, Romit, Terry, Corsair, I don't know if you're still there. If you guys could go sign up to our YouTube, it would be actually very supportive.
100%.
And yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Phil?
Yep. On se voit demain pour un GTD. Getting Tuesday done.
Sir.
Getting the week done. Let's go, boys.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow, getting Tuesday done.
Getting Tuesday done.
Yes, sir. All right, guys.
All right.
Peace.
Ciao.
You got it. I got it.